Yes, sir. Just a friendly reminder. Just want to tell everybody you can find our new episodes on our podcast feed pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts. You know, we got all the big hitters out there. So we got the Spotify's, we got the Apple Podcasts, Google, Amazon. You know where to go. But let's get started with the show. Where do you want to start?
Man, for all regular listeners, new listeners alike, Oceangate. This is all they talked about this week. For those who don't know the name of the company, the submarine with billionaires believe it's $250,000 a ticket that went down to see the Titanic went missing, and for several days people went
missing. That shit got destroyed, I thought.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what ended up how the story went is that it went missing. The people who were taking the billionaires down there were controlling it with a video game controller. They lost control of it, and people were looking for them for days, and they were counting down, the amount of oxygen they had.
They had a countdown.
Yeah, and then come to find out, apparently the Navy said they heard like an hour after they lost them, they heard an explosion underwater. They detected it.
I heard that they heard like some knocking. What was that?
People were saying they heard knocking, but people said that it wasn't them. It was something else. But apparently, so it was the whole week was like a whole search and rescue for them, and then come to find out they were dead within an hour of them getting lost.
Yeah, that's
and for those who don't know, they were 12,000 feet below. The amount of pressure down there, as soon as the hull was compromised, it just literally crushed like you just bought a piece of paper. Like
that's
dead.
The reason why they ended up
getting complete implosion. Just everybody just died instantly for the most part.
Yeah, I would never end up in that type of situation. Number one, because I don't have the money. But number two,
I don't
understand. Yeah. I don't understand why people try to put themselves in these types of situations, bro. That's why people were saying you'll never see this down there in the ocean. I'm pointing to my skin.
You never see. You might see this, but you never see this down there. You never see.
Why is it that black people never like to put ourselves in the type of situation? Somehow we just know innately,
bro. Because we have a fear. I feel like we have a fear aversion. I feel like we could be just this is how society is structured. Just within our own lives, within our communities, then our history in this country. I feel like a lot of us we know we can go on at any moment for just some bullshit. Why am I going to willingly go down to the Titanic?
They already
what I'm saying? I could get killed. That same that's for everybody, especially us black people in America. You can be killed for anything, dude. Dudes are out here running and getting 70 bullets riddled into their body, and they're running away.
You think that's the reason why we don't want to do Oceangate?
I feel like we have a fear aversion. It's like I'm not going to willingly. I already could die tragically, randomly, for some bullshit racist reason. Why would I willingly do some ridiculous like base jumping? Why would I willingly go, cave diving? Why would I go cave diving? Like, you got me fucked up if you think I'm going cave diving. You know how many people die cave diving?
What is cave diving?
People go underwater and they go through these underwater caverns.
Like that dude I just saw on TikTok. He was like crawling through some tight airspace.
I guess it's like that, but they do it underwater. I'd say. It's like that. They go through these underwater cave systems, and they'll be down there for like an hour, and then they'll come up and be in some, under some cave, and they're like, "Oh, this is great," and then we'll go back. But the margin of error, if you fuck up at all, if you get lost at all, you're dead. But you know what I mean? If you're not, apparently, I guess it's like some guys, if you're not properly trained for it, you can pass out and die. There's all kinds of ways you can die at cave dive. It's very dangerous. It's very.
Yeah, I think
dangerous.
Some people just like to put themselves in that situation to where death is a possibility. I would never want to do that, though, personally.
No. And I went skydiving, so I might sound like a hypocrite, but I went skydiving a few years ago. And never again, bro. Never again.
Why?
Never again.
What happened to you?
Huh?
What happened?
It was just scary as shit, bro. It feels like if you ever been on Goliath, that went Six Flags, where that first drop on Goliath, it's like that, but faster, and for like 3 minutes.
And constant, ew.
And it's constant. It's a constant. That sinking feeling you feel in the drop. At least on roller coasters, you get a rest. It's like that, just constantly. It's just constant. You just falling through the sky. You just feel it, and it's just constant for like 3 minutes. And then when they pull the cable, it's like extreme. I felt extreme pain, like in my groin area, like in my nuts. It was just like, and all the way down, going all the way down, I just felt this pain. It was just like, it was bad. I was like, and it was like,
I've never put myself in the situation to do anything like that, any type of extreme sports, anything like that. I don't even go surfing or anything like that. Like, number one, I don't spend any time in the water, so I'm probably not gonna do no Oceangate type shit. What I would probably want to experiment with though is that Richard Branson thing where they take everybody to space. I might do that. I might.
Yeah.
I think we've
like
discovered.
That's in the same vein, bro.
It is, but I think that we've developed a little bit more of a. I think we've got flight down a little bit more than submerging like 14,000 feet into the water.
Yeah. Now,
you know what I mean?
They bring out the 0-point energy in the UFOs. I'll go up.
You want to get into your conspiracy bag? Let's have it. Let's have it.
Yeah, man. So on top is Oceangate. Everything, condolences to everyone who lost a family. A lot of people are being very mean about the whole thing. They were saying
because they're billionaires.
They're billionaires. Oh, well, there's got to be a level of human suffering if you became a billionaire, like all kinds of stuff. So why should we care? And there's all these conspiracy theories that remember. These conspiracy theories. I'm just letting y'all know. I've been reading on the internet that apparently they said that the Titanic it didn't sink because of an iceberg. It sank because apparently they say J.P. Morgan and some other billionaires conspired, and they didn't say how they did it. But they claimed that it was something other than an iceberg that sank the Titanic, and that they apparently left in the middle of the journey on a separate boat, and they killed a whole bunch of people and billionaires who were also on the ship, which doesn't make any sense because you would think if there was billionaires, they would have got on the priority boat. Weren't there people who got on priority boats?
Like the safety boats?
On the safety boats, yeah.
I don't know.
Because they were survivors.
Priority? I thought it was just men, women, and children were the first to get on.
You mean women and children? It wouldn't be men.
Not men. Sorry.
You don't think a billionaire back in the early 1900s wouldn't get priority?
Yeah, they could probably slide a little 20.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But the conspiracy theory is that apparently people have been going down there for a lot, like earlier this year, and it was like, this doesn't look like something an iceberg did. And they were saying that apparently it was sabotaged by billionaires to stop them from bringing out 0-point energy. And for people who don't know 0-point energy, it's like the energy in the vacuum of space. Like apparently there's enough energy in a coffee cup, just the raw space of a coffee. This is quantum energy stuff, and a coffee cup to boil away all the oceans. And apparently Nikola Tesla figured it out, and they were saying that people were going to fund him were on that ship. And all the big oil guys like J.P. Morgan, all these other billionaires were like, hold on, we can't let that happen. So apparently they killed him. They killed all of them and caused the Titanic. I don't believe it, but it's fun to think about. Because I wouldn't believe, if 0-point energy is real, it's not being brought out. Like, it would collapse the United States overnight. The petrodollar, everything. I don't want to get too deep into it, but we all know there's definitely hidden technologies out there for sure. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to
I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want to get too big into conspiracy. I like the UFOs talk. I love it. Like I've been getting into.
Yeah,
it
you
lately.
do love that shit.
I believe it, bro.
Sense to me. None of it makes sense to me.
I believe it, bro.
My mind is just it stops at like aliens, UFOs. That's where my mind.
I'm
stops.
at a point where you can't even refute UFOs anymore.
No, you can't.
They've released the footage.
That was the thing.
Yeah. There's been whistleblowers over the years. We just had a recent one. They've released actual Navy footage and jet footage of UFOs. You can't argue it. End of the day, though, is it man-made, right? And they're hiding it. Is it, man-made meaning they just had a breakthrough with no aliens? Is it aliens or are they both? I believe it's both.
Okay.
I'm at that point. You can't argue it anymore. There's 3 possibilities, though.
I don't think humans are smart enough to figure out alien tech. If there was such thing, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
It would have to be just we found some crash
80 years.
Landing.
It's been 80 years. Since
I don't think so.
The Roswell crash.
I don't think so. We haven't even figured out quantum computing.
Yes, we have. We
figured it out, but it's not like
we're at an early
mass
level.
Production.
Yeah, it's at an early level. Yeah.
So I don't think that that's a possibility for us. Not in 2023. I don't think so.
That's a fair assessment. So you're basically saying these are aliens, and we just haven't figured it out yet.
I would think so. Even underwater. Because they talk about like underwater civilizations from the past and stuff like that. That's if we want to consider that aliens, because that's not. What do you consider an alien? Alien is anything off of Earth, right?
Anything off of Earth. But a lot of people say there are aliens who have lived here since the beginning.
Just living in the depths.
They've been living in the oceans. They've been living
because there's some crazy shit down there, bro.
In Antarctica.
That's another reason why I wouldn't. Yeah, Antarctica.
Under Antarctica,
you talk about
Antarctica in the water.
Yeah. That's another reason why I wouldn't want to go down to the depths. I mean, Oceangate. They didn't travel. They traveled like how far down is
12,000? That's pretty deep though.
I
watched
far.
A simulation that was like ridiculous.
But it gets deeper.
Yeah.
It gets deeper.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing. And I don't think I think there's a point where humans just can't survive past a certain depth.
Yeah, that's
so
your body
there.
would just implode. Remember in Black Panther 2 when they went all the way down there and she had to wear that suit because your body would just implode.
Right.
At a certain point.
Right. So I don't think that, and then if you want to talk about aliens, that would be something that they would be hiding. I'm sure we found out more about the water, about the sea, than we actually, have available to most people.
We know more about space, I think, than we know about the depths. I'm pretty sure. That's like
I think that's what they say, but how is that even possible?
At least common knowledge. The government probably knows more, of course.
Like, how are we still discovering new species on our own planet, but then we're saying, oh, we know more about space? That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. When you frame it like that, yeah, because, dude, we're like a joke. People are like, well, aliens can't be down there. It's too deep. If they have flying saucers that defy gravity, they say they create like a space-time bubble. What is pressure then? If it's insulated, they can go underwater with no issue.
I can go on aliens all day. Because what I'm thinking is, because when you see these Navy reports and stuff like that, these videos that are coming up with these UFOs, so-called like UAPs, they're all over the water.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back, because when I was thinking of Oceangate, I was thinking about, because people were saying, oh, maybe it's a conspiracy. They're trying to get rid of billionaires and stuff like that. I'm thinking all the way back to 2014 with the Malaysia flight and how they were saying that there were certain high-ranked people on that flight, and they just lost that. They lost that flight.
Yeah.
Never heard of that before. And where'd they lose it? Over the water. You see what I'm saying?
Bro,
if we want to talk about aliens, it has to be something with the water.
I got more. I've heard a lot of people saying that like Bermuda and other parts, certain parts of Earth, those are where the alien bases are. And they said they target ships and stuff that go near, even on the surface, they go near it. Sometimes they just get targeted automatically. Like their systems have an issue where they'll target certain ships. They might be deemed hostile. And they might hit them, and the aliens are like, oh shit, we fucked up. We got to cover this up.
What's up with the Bermuda Triangle? Why is that such a taboo?
Because they say that's one of their strongholds. That's probably one of their underwater cities.
Where is Bermuda?
There. Isn't it like in Caribbean somewhere? I'm gonna look it up. I think
so it's close to the States.
I think it's not that far from the States.
Amelia Earhart? Didn't she lose her flight? Didn't she crash around the Bermuda Triangle?
Dude, Bermuda Triangle is like between Miami, Island Bermuda, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's like this area that creates a triangle between all three places. So it's like right above the Caribbean.
Yeah, the conspiracy theories about the water are kind of crazy. But that's my bag, though. That's my bag. I get into all the alien shit. I can't really go. Really go with everything. I stop at aliens, JFK, and maybe 9/11.
Yeah, I go deep.
Maybe 9/11.
I stop at telepathy and remote viewing, and I can't get into the reptilian all that crazy shit. But
bro, there's actual people out here that think that the president is a reptile.
Because that's the theory, is that a lot of people I've read into it. I'm like, I don't believe
you. Got to be stupid.
I believe because I believe that they're real. That it's aliens, or we have our own, or both. And that
aliens are real,
and that they're telepathic.
The
I believe that.
That's what you're saying, though. Not the reptiles.
That's where I go, and they're hiding 0-point energy. That's all I'm. Because if we had UFOs, I don't want to stay too long to stop. But we had, because someone pointed this out, right? When you look at the beginning of commercial air flights, right? Let's say it takes 5 hours to go from, or 5.5 hours to go from LA to JFK, right? When it's probably, they might have cut it by an hour or 30 minutes, but it's relatively the same amount of time over a 100-year period, or an 80-year period of us having commercial flights.
Where did you even find out about this 0-point shit? This is your new fixation. You just all of a sudden was 0 point, 0 point.
I don't remember, bro. I don't remember. I think I was just on Twitter, and it was bro, the government is hiding 0-point energy. I'm like, what is that? And they're like,
followed the rabbit trail.
It's basically just, they said it's the energy of the universe. The quantum energy.
Be careful, dog. You're going to end up on 4chan in a minute.
Stop, bro. Stop, bro. If I got on I'm going to get on 4chan, and I'm going to see N-words and F-slurs and blacks are inferior.
I know, I'm
going to be, my eyes going to be looking like this. The kufi going to come out of the sky and land on my head, and I'm going to leave the website. So
you hear Dr. Umar in your conscience.
Exactly. Malcolm X is going to be grabbing me spiritually and be like, bro, this is not the way. They're going to move me. I don't know. I've never even been curious, because you know how many psycho murderers.
To go on 4chan?
Yes. You know how many psycho murderers post their manifestos on 4chan, and they come from 4chan. I'm big into crypto, and there's a lot of 4chan dudes in the crypto that I'm like, I have coins. I talk to people about investments. These dudes are some weird fucking dudes, some weirdos. They have a whole culture in how in speaking, and they say they love this little Pepe the Frog thing, and it's weird.
Yeah, I did a report on that in college. Mm-hmm. That shit was really weird to find out. That's like their little mascot.
Yeah, dude. They have there's a little
like a dog
mascot.
whistle.
They always talking about keck, and they have like these little sayings and slurs.
Do I need to slur that? Do I need to?
I don't think it's a slur that I'm aware of. We can look this up, but I don't think it's a slur because it's like apparently they say it originated in World of Warcraft, and it's supposed to be like a laughing. It's supposed to mean LOL. But it's
yeah, you said that. Like
yeah,
kiki,
it's
kiki.
like yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's weird, bro. They weird. Like they just be talking and be like, yeah, crypto's gonna go up 100%, Kiki. Like, dude.
But they be typing this shit.
They be typing this shit. Like it's like, whoa, like okay.
There's their own little language. That's silly.
Language.
What else do we want to get to?
Yeah, let's move. Since we talking about billionaires, let's move into Elon versus Zuck, bro.
What about it?
What are your thoughts? And for those who don't know, apparently,
explain it.
I think Elon posted. I think someone posted a picture about how like Elon would beat the shit out of Zuck or whatever. And Elon retweeted it, and then Zuck sent a picture that said send the location.
Yeah, he was down. He was down for the fight.
Yeah.
Now, if they ever did a pay-per-view fight of Elon versus Zuckerberg, fuck whatever Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao fight.
That fight's gonna make a whole bunch of money.
Conor McGregor. Yeah. That's the fight of the century right there.
And you know they're billionaires.
Into that.
You know they're really gonna pay the money to get the best of the best, the best of the best to come out and train
trainers.
Them. The trainers, so they're gonna live in their house.
That's the
everything.
thing, man.
Like,
Zuck is already trained, man. I've been looking at Elon Musk, man, for the last few years since he's really reached his peak of popularity. Yeah. That body not right. He gonna have to do some. Yeah. He gonna have to do some real training. That body not right.
Apparently, they say Zuck has been a martial artist for years. I don't know what he does, but I've heard that he does. Like people were talking about it or saying that man is, like you said, that man is trained.
I think he just trains. I think he trains in like what's that new? It's not new, but what's that? It's like a fad of people that have been getting into martial arts are doing like Muay Thai. I think it's called.
Yeah, like even Wiz Khalifa was doing it for a while. He got jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got jacked. He looked like a Street Fighter character for a minute.
Yeah, he looked like a different guy.
Yeah.
He looked like a different guy. You build a lot of muscle doing that shit.
Yeah, he looked like
I would love to do a fight, man. Number one, I would love to watch that fight. Like if they really want to do that shit, I don't think Elon has the balls to do it. But if they really want to do that shit, I would love to watch that shit. I'll pay the 50. I'll pay the 50 to watch that fight. But I would be interested in doing a fight, dude. They should allow just like amateurs to do
fun, bro.
Fights.
Imagine if we got like really big in the future as YouTubers and like somebody was like a podcast that was like, you niggas ain't shit or some stuff. I was like, well, let's get the fight going.
And they make bands.
Exactly. Let's submit it. And we have a big enough audience that people would pay for the PPV. Like, let's get this money. They don't need it. Like, they don't have to do it. But I feel like if you're a YouTuber, let's get this bread.
Why not? Like an amateur fight league?
Why not? I don't think so. They don't have some kind of YouTube. They don't think they have some kind of YouTube fight league or something like that.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I would love to just kind of like figure it out. I think that it's just very therapeutic. I think the reason why people, obviously it's like an evolutionary thing. I think humans just like to fight. It's just our form of aggression. But I think that it's therapeutic. I think people feel like a sense of freedom because when you're really exerting yourself like that, because I've, like when I exercise like to the point of exhaustion, there's just like a sense of relaxation that you get afterwards. It's literally cathartic.
Those endorphins start rushing your brain. It's like,
is that what it is? Because I know people talk about like the runner's high or whatever, like people that run marathons and stuff like that, and they push themselves to the absolute maximum. Afterwards, you just feel like a certain type of zen.
Yeah, you just get like, I've never gotten that high from before. Not even when we play football. I feel like you have to be at I feel like you have to have a certain. I feel like you have to have a certain level of, or even when I was in college and I would work out, I feel like you have to have I feel like you have to hit a certain level to get the runner's high. I've never gotten it that I'm aware of.
You have to literally exert yourself. Like only time I've ever felt that feeling. And I'm not talking about the runner's high. I'm just talking about just like the zen after the exercise is done. Is if I'm push myself to the like the limit. Push myself to the
like
fucking
10 minutes
limit.
after the pain subsides, when you just on the ground, like exhausted, and you feel that pain in your body. When it leaves your body, I feel like that's when you feel that zen.
It's like you have to reach pain, which is unfortunate.
We played football. There was one time they worked us so bad, I couldn't move my leg, dude. Like I couldn't get up. Everybody went home, and I'm just laid up against those padding on the sides. Remember that there's that huge hill? There's that padding. I was just laying up against the padding, my legs stretched out. My mom was like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, I can't move. Everybody went home.
Yeah.
I
guess it's the difference. I think it has to be like one of those non-contact type sports. You have to do like some of these non-contact exercises, just like weightlifting. Or, even though I kind of was talking about boxing, but it's something like that.
But yeah, I would.
What else do we have?
It. The next thing I want to talk about is Drake's new album. What are your thoughts?
Okay.
I feel like he's
Yeah, Drake's renewed. Drake is he announced he has a new album coming out
called
for all the dogs.
For all the dogs. You think
He paired that with the poetry book that he has coming out. I think it might be out today. Actually, what's today's date? Yeah, I think it actually came out today.
dude, he's working hard, man. He's been dropping.
I think this is Drake's new prime.
Yeah,
I think, is it possible for a person to have like two primes?
I don't know, man.
Because he had the run when he first came out for Take Care.
Yeah.
That was a run. And it probably lasted all the way up till 2016, but then he kind of like lost it a little bit with the demo tapes. Yeah, he lost it with Scorpion too. And then all of a sudden, this last calendar year,
I don't know, bro. I don't think his music is, other than that dance album, I don't think his music has been all that. He ain't on no views level. He is not on a. I don't think he's on a Hotline Bling. Hotline Bling. I don't think he's on that level, man. More Life. He was at a peak, bro. And he was dropping albums like once every year or two.
I'm not talking about peak. I'm just talking about prime. I don't consolidate. I don't put the two together. I'm talking about just prime. Everything Drake does, he's reached a different level of popularity too. Everything Drake does gets attention. It's always in the media. That's why he stays low.
Yeah, even when that, I don't know if you saw that video a few weeks ago where he was like, his credit card declined or something like that. He was like, embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it just
everything he does gets credit.
That went crazy. I got a lot of views.
I think he probably is in a different type of prime. And he's been experimenting with different types of sounds too. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's not a prime in terms of his career, but just in terms of his creativity.
I don't know. Maybe it's me because I've listened to all his new albums. They ain't don't sound like nothing profound, man.
I'm not talking about that.
Nothing was the same. Like he was dropping classics. Do you really think Certified Lover Boy is gonna be looked back as a classic? You really think nothing was what's the one, the dancehall album? I forget what it's called.
Honestly, never mind.
You think you think is it gonna be remembered like Take Care, like Nothing Was the Same, like Views, like More Life were gonna be remembered? I don't think they are, but that's just my opinion.
It could be.
I
really like the new wave that he's on.
Though he's very. I'm not saying he's not popular. Like it's probably the height of his popularity, but I don't think he's dropping classics anymore. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But in terms of the level of output that he's putting out, man, I don't think he's ever reached. Yeah,
he's never put out this kind of quantity. But the quality is what I'm saying.
We're not even talking about the features either.
Yeah,
like he was on Young Thug's project. He just brings a different vibe. It's just different. He's on something different. Like even though I am kind of getting tired of the fact
age, that, you know, he maybe he's evolving a little bit.
Is he? How old is he? Like 32?
He's about to be 37, bro.
Are you serious?
I swear. Yeah.
He's pushing 40?
Yeah. Yeah, he's 36, bro. He'll be 37 in October.
Yeah. So at this age, he needs to kind of get over this little, just kind of like shitting on the women that he's been with. He needs to kind of get over that. When is Drake going to settle down? Yeah, that's the kind of music I would like to hear.
I don't know, bro. You're a young bachelor like Drake. That'd be hard to settle down. It's just too many women, bro. Like, you're Drake. Like, imagine you had a Freaky Friday with Drake. You probably couldn't imagine.
What is that?
Freaky Friday. Remember Freaky Friday?
Oh, like Body Swap?
Woke up, Chris Breezy. Body Swap. Like the movie Freaky Friday and the song.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about something sexual. I was like, wait, what is this new Freaky Friday shit? That's what it sounds like. If you had a Freaky Friday with Drake, that's what it sounded like you were getting.
Anybody our age knows what I meant by that.
That was just me then. That was my bad. What were you saying?
But yeah, you woke up in Drake's body. You probably see it's different. Like, how are you gonna settle down? You got this kind of money. You got this kind of attention.
You just said it. You're pushing 40. At what point are you gonna settle down?
He already got a son. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but he has like an out of wedlock type son. I'm not shitting on people that have kids out of wedlock. I'm just talking about like, it's not like he doesn't have like a real love in his life. I want to hear Drake when he's like in love, he's married, he's looking for something more than just fucking women.
But it's like the same thing with Taylor Swift. Do you want to see a happy Taylor Swift, or do you want to see a breakup Taylor Swift? That's when the heat comes.
I don't
out.
listen to enough Taylor Swift.
I don't listen to Taylor Swift.
Her discography,
but I understand the kind of, from what people have said, the kind of music.
Like let's use SZA because we stay in the R&B.
Oh yeah, well yeah, like a SZA who just got done dirty, but dude, she about to drop an album. You get what I'm saying?
And I don't think the same thing applies to SZA.
Same thing applies to Drake. Yeah.
No, I'm over the SZA type music right now. All that toxic shit, I'm over that. SZA is like 33 years old, bro. I'm not saying she needs to be talking about her husband or anything on her song.
It's time to settle down a little bit. But who are you to say that? Some people don't want children. You don't know Drake. You know what I mean? Like, Drake may not.
I'm not saying that he needs to talk about kids and talk about the whole family and having the house on the hill. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just saying, get into a little bit more of a serious, life-oriented, what are you planning to do with your life type shit, instead of just talking about the hoes and the bitches. That's what I'm saying.
But also, he's also dropping a poetry book, apparently. That's coming up, too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was laughing at that shit.
Yeah, bro. You know the women going to buy that up. Next thing you know, I'm calling it here. You heard it here first.
Is it for the women?
I don't know if it's for the women, but this is what I'm going to say. I promise you this right now. After this book drops, for the rest of the year, all these Instagram models, their posts are going to be clips from the poetry book. I swear to God. I promise you right now.
Are people still doing that? Where they take all the Drake's quotes and they use them as the Instagram captions?
I still see it sometimes for some of his newer music.
I didn't know that was still a thing.
Yeah. It's funny, though. It's funny. It's corny, but it's funny.
Let's move into this XXL cover. I noticed that this XXL cover was really weak this year.
Actually,
and it's been weak for the last few years. The only person that I really saw on that list that was of worth the conversation, I should say, was Glorilla.
Yeah. Who else was on there? Yeah,
let's look at it.
Yeah, because I haven't looked at. I was about to say.
Because there were some people on there that I noticed, but none of these people that I saw were actually worth the conversation.
Bro,
I thought XXL freshman list was supposed to be the people that already had clout.
Most XXL is trash, bro. Most of the time, I'd say.
What do you mean?
It's mostly industry plants.
Most of the artists on there?
Industry plants who failed, you'll never hear about them again. I think most XXLs these days is like one artist who is actually popping, who actually has.
No, dude. In recent years, there's been some really good artists on there that actually has some acclaim. I think that this year is just weak, but we already know hip hop is struggling this year.
Too rare. La Tyler, the hell?
Some of these names we've definitely heard before. Finesse 2 times you've definitely heard of.
Only person I know on this list is Glorilla, bro.
No, there was one more. Hold on. You know about Tia Corine.
I've heard that name before. Yeah. DC.
And those are the only two that I noticed.
La Tyler, Friday, Glorilla, Lola Brooke.
But if we're talking about like in the recent years, like we've had Baby Keem on there. We've had Fabio. We've had, I'm trying to think. We've had Meg was recent. We had DaBaby was recent.
Damn, he fell off. He had a little run though. Yeah, a little run. We can't say he didn't have a run. Yeah, man, like Nardo Wick was on 2022.
Nardo Wick was recent.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah, I think hip hop is just struggling right now. This might be the end of hip hop as we know it.
This is the end of hip hop. It's capitulating. Hip hop hasn't been
the end.
No, not the end.
Did I say that or did you say that?
I said it. Let me fix it. This is the end, like you said, as we know it. I feel like because what's happening is SoundCloud era was so big and it lasted so long. Now we're getting all these like, it's like it hasn't evolved since then. In my opinion, since like that SoundCloud era with the Travis Scott, like 2016 was the year. Everybody has been trying to recreate 2016 since then, and now it's just dying. I feel like everything has been an attempt to capture 20, because 2016 was big, bro. Culture One, Lil Uzi. I forgot what's that name of the album? You know what I'm talking about. Money Longer was on that album. Came out that year. Beebs in the Trap came out that year. Culture One came out that year. That's a big year. That was the year that defined that whole era, that whole SoundCloud era. A whole bunch of, I'm sure, like, what's his name? Lil Pump on them came out that year and the year before. You don't feel like this has just been an attempt to like recapture that for many, many years, and it's just dead now.
I don't know if they're trying to recapture it. I just think that the audience isn't really trying to hear hip hop anymore, because hip hop became like the new pop. Yeah, I think pop is now pop again.
Yeah, pop.
So people don't really care about hip hop as much, and the new artists they're not really putting out any joints.
Yeah, they're not innovating. They're just putting out the same shit, the same hi-hats, the same beat, same flow. It's nothing has changed. Like there's been some hits here and there. Like in crypto, there's always a bull run somewhere, right? But the market is down.
I'm surprised Ice Spice was on there.
Which is weird, right? You would think Ice Spice should have been on there.
Maybe she turned it down. Actually, I think I heard that she turned it down.
Why?
I don't know why.
Is it a curse?
No, I think nobody cares about XXL. And I think she's really on top of her marketing and stuff, her branding. She probably knows that she probably doesn't want to be in a hip hop lane. Even though she's a rapper, but she probably doesn't want to be in a hip hop lane.
She needs a new flow though, bro. She's gonna go down to the baby route eventually.
Hope she. You mean like falling off?
Yeah, because the flow, the baby doesn't innovate. Hasn't innovated. I feel like all her music I've heard is the same flow. To me,
You can get away with using the same flow. We talked about this before.
with Tupac.
Tupac.
Tupac didn't have that many albums though before he died. What do you have?
Excuse me?
He had like Tupac had like
tons of albums.
Nah, bro. Tupac had like what, like 4 or 5 albums over like a 4-year period, 3 or 4 year period.
Talking about solo albums?
Yeah,
Tupac has a lot of albums, bro.
we're not talking about the posthumous ones, bro. He has 4 studio albums. Come on, dog.
That's a good amount of
studio
albums.
Is not, to me, is not that much.
How many albums does Frank Ocean have?
Stop, bro. That's not fair.
Well, what are we talking about?
That's not fair. Because
How do we even get on the album conversation? You brought that up, didn't we?
I brought it up, but like we already know what Frank is on. Like we talking about like a traditional. Like you look at Tyler. Tyler has had like what, like 8 studio albums, 7 studio albums, something ridiculous.
Okay.
I don't think you can compare the number of Tyler studio albums to Tupac. Tupac wasn't alive very long from the time he started. Like, when did his first studio album come out?
I don't know, sometime in the 90s. What are we talking about?
I don't even know how we got here, but yeah.
I got lost.
But speaking of Ice Spice, she's also going on tour with Doja Cat. That also recently got announced.
Yeah, you know my whole thing with Doja Cat and Ice Spice, man. I really think that Doja Cat is trying to compete with Ice Spice. I think she really feels threatened by Ice Spice. And I don't have anything, like I'm not pointing to like any receipts or anything like that. I don't have any receipts to back it up. But I do think that Ice Spice is stealing her shine. I think that's the reason, that's a part of the reason. I know but some people got in my ass a little bit for the last episode when I was talking about how Doja Cat kind of feels like she's a villain right now, in my opinion. And I think that one of the reasons why she's been so vocal, like in her last single, is because she thinks that some of that shine is getting taken away from her. People aren't comparing her to the proper people. I think Ice Spice is stealing a lot of her lane.
Probably a lot of her, maybe behind the scenes, a lot of the gigs is going to Ice Spice that used to go to her. You never know.
Could be. Doja Cat hasn't really been touring like that, but Ice Spice has the shine. I think this is just an attempt of keeping your enemies closer. You know my whole thing. And I know that people don't like when we put women up against women and stuff like that, especially black women. But I just think it's my opinion.
No, I can see that. I can see it because I don't know, man. You see a lot of veterans, and I wouldn't say Doja Cat's a veteran quite yet, but you see it with like Nicki, you see it with like Drake. Nicki definitely keeps her enemies closer. I think it's very obvious. She brings in a lot of the new it girls. They get brought into Nicki around Nicki quick. Am I wrong?
I don't know if Nicki is still trying to hold on to the top throne though. I think she's more of a legacy act at this point.
Yeah,
people
she's a
know who
legacy
Nicki
act.
is and what she's done for the culture.
Yeah, she's a legacy. Would you say Drake is a legacy act now?
Excuse me?
You say Drake
Say that question out loud one more time.
Would you say Drake is a legacy act? He came up around the same time, so it's a valid question.
I'm being sarcastic, of course.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Drake is probably the best rapper ever.
Stop.
I'm not talking about technical because music gets, especially with hip hop, music gets so convoluted. That's why in the last conversation we didn't even know where we're going because it was just it's like sports. There's always a comeback for every single thing that somebody says. I'm just talking about, if we're talking about legacy, Drake has cemented himself as one of the longest running artists of all time, hip hop wise. And he's cemented himself as one of the best rappers alive. You want to talk about stats, he's got them. It's kind of like the LeBron thing. If you want to talk about stats, he's got them. You want to talk about rings, he's got them. He doesn't have a lot of Grammys or whatever, but I still count that. He has the clout. He brings people up. Everybody wants to get a Drake feature.
Good point.
He's the guy.
Okay, yeah, but I still feel like we talk about the vampiricism. I still feel like a new guy pops. Next thing you know, Drake is like, "Let me get a feature."
He got to get a super team.
That's what
Hip hop is a lot like
then
sports.
Some of these dudes get brought into the OVO sweatshop, and they're his personal ghostwriters and producers going forward. And he's like, well,
yeah, but then
where's my
they
next
come
album,
up
Drake?
off of Drake.
Oh, we're going to delay it a little bit longer, but finish those songs for my next album. OVO sweatshop.
You have any receipts to back that up?
Just hearsay and the whole thing with
what's the hearsay?
The whole thing with the Weeknd. I'm writing most to Take Care, and then when he freed himself from the sweatshop, he went on to be one of the biggest artists.
That was in like 2009, wasn't it?
2011. Yeah, you don't think he's still doing that? You don't think? We already know Division writes some of his songs. The group. They own LVO.
People write for people. People write for artists.
Moving on, Moriah Mills, man. We've been talking about her. She's been, ever since the whole thing with her and Zion got exposed, she's been going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know if it's clout that's driving her crazy. I don't know if it's she almost thought she retired and got a bag for life. What do you think?
I think it's clear that she's just clout searching. She needs to stop.
She's clout chasing hard. She must be getting that Bad Baby money, OnlyFans money now. She put herself on the map. Her subscriber count definitely jumped a lot, and she's making a lot of money. There's no way she didn't. There's no way she hasn't made a couple mil off this scandal. I believe it, just off the OnlyFans subscriptions. Could be wrong.
Most likely, niggas thirsty, bro.
Yeah.
Niggas gonna,
They weren't. She probably wasn't
porn
even on the
star?
map. Yeah. It's like, Zion is hitting that. I gotta check it out. But anyway, she just got a face tattoo with Zion's name on her face. She's been like going on a continuous internet tirade for weeks now, and now she's stepping it up. She posted a picture of her getting a tattoo of Zion's name on her face, and then she was also like shaking her ass while she was on the table getting the fucking tattoo done.
It's just like, where does this stop?
I don't know, bro. She's been talking about, you spit in my mouth, just wait till the sex tape drops. She's been talking crazy.
She said there's a sex tape?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
He said, just wait until the sex tape drops. You spit in my mouth, Zion. How are you gonna make up for that and all that? I was like,
come on, Zion.
I was like, whoa.
She probably talks like that too.
It's goofy as hell, bro. People have been criticizing her because they said like she's a porn star and she was a pretty famous one when she was doing it, and they said she's never got with a black guy once. She only hooked up with white guys.
I haven't heard that.
They're like, damn. So why are you so tripped up on Zion? You on camera never fuck
baller money, dog.
I guess.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
baller money.
This is weird. People have been like making fun of her physique because she's like, you can tell very clearly she's had a lot of surgeries.
Is that the same woman they were saying looked like a deep breath?
That's her. Yeah. That's her.
If Twitter is good for something, it's for clowning people.
He just got exposed, man. Like I feel like most NBA players are on the bullshit. They be on Instagram because they have clout. Like us normal guys, we can't just be sliding the DMs and be like, "Hey, let me fly you out." But if you Zion Williamson, you see a girl on social media who looks cute. Hey, you know who I am. You see the check mark. You see the follower count. You want to come out? They come out. And
I just don't know why they always go for the porn stars, though. That is so strange.
Yeah, man. I mean, it reminds me of like when Snoop got caught with that one girl, I forget her name. She was like Academic's girlfriend for a while, but she had been more like,
when was this?
This is years ago. This is like years ago. But he got caught like texting. She's known. She exposes like industry dudes for hooking up with her. What's her name, dude? She was like Academic's girlfriend for a while. So if people who want to deep dive on it, you'll find it very quickly. Her name was Selena Power or something like that. That's her name, Selena Power.
I've never heard of her.
Yeah, it just came back to me. But yeah, she was exposing dudes. She said you wouldn't believe how many NBA, because like she said that people are saying it's like a thing where it's like if all the industry dudes have hit, other dudes are like, well, I got to hit too, so I can tell the story.
Eskimo bros.
Yeah, it's like this weird like Eskimo bro thing where it's like if a rapper hits some girl, you can best believe all these other dudes who might not even like the dude. It's like a competition kind of thing. Well, I got to get with her now then. If I'm going to compete, stay up with Drake's number.
I wonder if the women do that. I'd like to know. I wonder if the women do the same thing.
Probably, man. It's probably on some like I can steal your man stuff, or if two people break up, her friend might be like, "Ooh, open season, so I can show her up." I don't know. I'm sure it's the same shit. I'm sure it's like some
because I can't think of any examples of that. At least not in the celebrity realm. But even like men do that. They're not even celebrities and they do that shit. Someone did that shit to me.
Yeah, you told me that story. Yeah,
and he just wants to date her because I dated her, seemingly.
It's like they think they're showing you up. Dang, if I can bag her, man, if I can start dating her, I date her longer. That means she like me more than she like Nick. You know what I'm saying? Like people be on some weird bullshit. Like you don't know what's going on in somebody's head. But yeah, man, I think we kind of can start moving into Kim K. So apparently, she had an interview. I think was it with Time? It said it was Time. She had an interview with Time recently. It was 4 days ago. That said that. She apparently regretted not really paying attention to her daughter's involvement with I Spice and posting I Spice videos, and she did like a whole I Spice like cosplay I think on TikTok, and she started listening to the lyrics and she's like, oh, this is not for kids, and took it down.
She was doing TikToks with I Spice,
and Kanye said like 2 years ago he was saying, yo, Kim, you need to get her off TikTok. TikTok is mad inappropriate, dude. Honestly, I'm scared to have children. Because the shit that I see on YouTube and TikTok, just scrolling, just random shit. It's just like wild. Like people are just in fishnets. You can see nipples and shit, and they do that to like skirt around the nudity laws, like because the videos will be up. I'm like, I mean, how do you protect your children from seeing this shit? Like,
yeah, I randomly pulled up TikTok yesterday and just saw a titty out, just one titty.
Yeah,
Not even full exposure, just one titty. It's just like, what is this app, bro?
So she probably didn't listen to the lyrics, and she just started hearing all kinds of crazy shit. And I was like, well, damn, like Kanye. People were on the internet saying Kanye is vindicated and blah blah blah. And Kanye's been kind of on the sneak, man. Dude got married, seemed like he happily married, enjoying his life, from what I can tell. Putting on weird outfits and big ass boots and tights.
No, yeah, he's living his own life.
Yeah, with his new wife. A lot of people don't even know he got remarried. I say that sometimes people are like, Kanye got married again? Like,
yeah, because he didn't get married to Kim K.
Yeah. And apparently she was like a friend. Like she would like hang around them. Like Kim knows who she is.
No, I think she worked with Yeezy.
Damn.
Like for the actual company.
You think Kanye was piping that on the sneak or?
Could have been.
Could have been.
They were saying the same thing about Kim K.
Yeah,
Meek Mill and
Meek
them.
Mill. Damn. That's
Drake,
crazy.
Kiki, do you love me?
I believe it. I believe Drake pipe, bro. I really do. I really do. And he was fucking with him. Drake is a troll. He trolls through his music. He knew what he was doing.
No, I think Kanye actually said that he didn't do that.
How do you know though?
I think the one he said that he confirmed the one was Chris Paul.
Really? That actually happened? So that was confirmed.
That's what Kanye said. Remember, he went on that Twitter rant.
Oh my God.
That was one of the photos that he posted. You don't remember this?
Yeah, I remember.
He was posting all the people that he had beef with,
and
Chris Paul was one of them.
Yeah.
He said he caught him in the room with Kim K.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Shit, man. All right, Kanye. He did. He definitely was piping Bianca then, whatever her name is. After that,
We lost the plot though. We were talking about Northwest and Kim K.
Yeah. I mean, there's no much. I just was. That's all I wanted to say is that Kanye was vindicated. And what do you think? You think? You know, broken clock. Is it a broken clock is right a day, a right twice a day thing, or what's up with that?
Yeah, I guess Kanye was right. He was speaking facts, I suppose. I think the only reason why he didn't want her, I don't think he was talking about her not hanging out with Ice Spice. I think he was just talking about her being on TikTok
Those videos
as a young kid.
But like that, it's the same thing though. It wasn't necessarily about Ice Spice, but in the fact that she shouldn't have been on TikTok at all. She wouldn't have been exposed to any of that. I mean, she probably would have heard Ice Spice to a certain extent. But I wasn't allowed to have social media until I was like almost in high school.
In the clip that I watched, Kim K wasn't talking about the TikToks per se. She was just talking about listening to the music. She was saying that she shouldn't have had her daughter listening to the music.
And she said, also said she took down the TikToks too.
She did take down the TikToks.
Yeah.
But I think it's because she didn't want her child around Ice Spice. Whatever Ice Spice represents, a 12-year-old shouldn't be aligned with that.
And I understand.
Or how old is the kid? I don't know how old the kid is, but
I think she's like 10. I have no idea.
It's even worse. Yeah, a 10-year-old kid shouldn't be aligned with that. But I was kind of confused because, I mean, I've been listening to rap. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have, but I was listening to rap music at like 9 or 10. You know, you're still good. The music is the music.
Yeah.
Just because it's hip hop, and hip hop gets a bad rap because
a lot of it,
they're talking about.
Not even control.
What do you mean?
A lot of it I just didn't get back then until now. You know, listening to all
you like the innuendos and stuff. Yeah, but they're still talking about like the sex and stuff like that in pop music and stuff like that. So I think maybe hip hop just kind of has like we've already known this since the time it was conceived. Hip hop has always been demonized for some reason. I don't know. Probably because it's just black people doing hip hop for the most part.
Yeah, when we were doing jazz, that was jungle nigga music, and now jazz is most of us are not even in jazz anymore. Now it's held up as a higher standard of music. It always happens.
Yeah, I think Kim K just didn't want Northwest to be aligned with Ice Spice because of what she represents. You know, she's like slapping her pussy and shit like that, shaking ass and shit like that.
All types of shit.
10-year-olds don't need to be with that. They don't need to be aligned with that type of shit. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Top Tier Podcast. You know the deal. You can catch us same place, same time next week for another new episode. Make sure you tune in if you're watching on YouTube to our podcast feed. We've got new episodes up there every single Monday for you. So we'll catch you next time. Peace.